All right, let's dive into something really interesting today. We're going to look at a business strategy that finds a hidden gold mine where most companies, well, they only see a massive cost. It's all about completely flipping the script on the idea of free.
So, to get our heads around this, let's start with a super simple story. Picture this. You've got a lemonade stand, and to get people interested, you're giving out free samples. It's a classic move, right?
But here's the problem. Most people, they take a little sip, they say, hey, thanks, and they just keep on walking. They never actually buy a full cup. So, from that huge crowd, you've made exactly $0. Sound familiar?
Okay, but now for the twist. What if you could actually make money from those free sample people? Not from your lemonade, but by getting a small cut every single time one of them buys a cookie from the stand right next to yours? All of a sudden, those people aren't a loss anymore, are they? They're an opportunity.
That simple idea, believe it or not, is the key to solving a massive problem in the software world. It's something called the freemium paradox. Let's see how that little lemonade stand problem plays out on a huge scale.
Okay, so check this out. In the world of business software, a staggering 70 to 90% of users who sign up for a free trial or a free plan, they will never, ever convert into a paying customer. Just think about that. For every 10 people who try your product, as many as 9 of them will never give you a single dime.
And this chart just paints the picture perfectly, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got that small, tidy bar of paying customers. The ones who keep the lights on. But then, on the right, you've got this absolutely massive, towering bar of free users. The imbalance is just incredible.
And here's the kicker. Free isn't actually free for the company. Not at all. Every single one of those users costs money. They're using up server space, they're sending in support tickets, they're consuming resources. They are a huge cost center that brings in absolutely no revenue.
But maybe, just maybe, we're looking at this all wrong. What if that giant cost center is actually a gold mine in disguise? Let's dig into that idea.
This right here, this is the light bulb moment. Those users who decided your premium product wasn't for them, they're not broke. They have budgets, they have real business needs, and they are definitely buying other software tools. They're just not buying them from you.
I mean, think about it. They're paying for their Zoom subscription, their Stripe account, their HubSpot marketing tools, their Notion workspace. They're spending money on all the other things they need to run their business, tools that, a lot of the time, work right alongside yours.
And the potential value that's just locked up inside that audience is huge. We're talking about an estimated $1.6 billion untapped market, just sitting there, waiting for someone to connect the dots.
So, how in the world do you actually tap into that gold mine? Well, this is where a company like PartnerMind AI comes into the picture, and their model looks a whole lot like our lemonade and cookie stand story.
So what they've built is a service, and that's the key word, a service, not just a piece of software you have to manage, that basically acts as a broker. It uses AI to automatically turn that giant, non-paying user base into a brand new revenue stream.
The process itself is surprisingly simple. First, the service analyzes what your free users actually need to run their businesses. Second, its AI plays matchmaker, connecting them with the perfect non-competing partner tools. Third, and this is the best part, it handles all the annoying stuff, the negotiations, the contracts, the tech setup. And finally, step 4, you just get paid. That's it.
And the business model is totally aligned. The company, the publisher, keeps the lion's share of the commission, usually somewhere between 70%. PartnerMind only makes money when their clients make money. It's a pure performance deal.
This whole done-for-you service model is the real game changer. A lot of companies try to build these kinds of affiliate programs themselves, but honestly, it's incredibly complicated, and it takes up so much time.
Just look at the two approaches side by side. On one side, you have the do-it-yourself platforms. You're paying monthly fees, you need a dedicated team, you have to manage everything. On the other side, you've got the PartnerMind service. 0 internal resources needed from you, no upfront costs, and they handle the whole shebang. It's really the difference between buying a box of tools versus just hiring an expert carpenter to build the house.
And by doing this, they've basically carved out their own unique space in the market. They're specifically going after the smaller software companies. Those lean teams with maybe 1 to 50 employees who are just way too busy building an amazing product to deal with a complex affiliate program. It's a classic blue ocean strategy.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's talk about the actual impact, the results, for a company that uses this playbook.
First off, the bottom line. Companies can generate an extra $50,000 to over $200,000 in annual revenue. And just remember, this is money coming from users who were previously generating zero, actually less than zero. They were costing you money.
But it's not just about new money. It's also about keeping the users you already have. By providing real value through these relevant partner offers, companies can see a potential 40% drop in customer churn. You're helping your users solve more of their problems, which makes them want to stick around in your world.
So when you boil it all down, it's all upside with basically no downside. There's zero risk of hurting your core revenue because you're only talking to people who already decided not to pay you. It's pure profit from an audience you weren't touching before, and you can have the whole thing up and running in just a few weeks.
This one sentence just perfectly nails the entire strategy. It's such a powerful shift in how you think, seeing that massive group of free users not as a burden, but as your next huge opportunity.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. It forces you to ask a really interesting question. What part of my own business or my own work do I just write off as a cost? And what would it take to reframe it, to see it instead as a hidden, untapped gold mine? It's a powerful thought to leave you with.